Hey everybody, welcome back. Right, that's Christmas done for another year, and now we can get stuck into stuff. As you saw, this video is actually about the topper, and that's because we're sort of the lull before the storm with the Naughty. As you saw, I started painting mudguards and things, but the frame and that is now off being sandblasted. So when that comes back, if you get something sandblasted, by the way, get it primed straight away, because that really bare metal takes up rust very quickly. So that's got to come back, get painted, and then we can start putting it all together. And then of course there's the engine. So while that was happening, I've been fiddling on with little things. I gave the final airbox polish up. Didn't come out too badly, did it? I think that'll work well. And things like the rear suspension units. Now actually these were really nice, they work well, so I've just sandblasted them. Even the springs cleaned up. Tops I'm going to don't you dare. Tops I'm going to nickel plate. So I just thought I'd show you these couple of things, and then we're going to get on with the topper engine, because I might as well do a bit of that rather than just sit around waiting. So I've got a couple of things to mention. One is nickel plating. I've got a few bits that I'm going to nickel plate, but probably not for another week. So if you would like to see something about the nickel plating, it's one of those Caswell kits, and they really work well. I nickel plated some bits on the trials bike when I first built it, which is several years ago, and obviously it gets a lot of pretty heavy duty. It gets covered in mud and then just wiped off, so it's scratched and this, that and the other, and that nickel plating's really held up well. So if you want to see something about the nickel plating, I'll do a little video on that, so let me know in the comments. The other thing is, while I've got this here, I'll give you a little tip. If any of you are going to redo the Girling type shock absorbers, rear suspension units, what you'll find is the paint on them is very thin. I don't know whether they're enamelled or what. So when you clean it all off and you paint, you'll have this up here, you know, you'll sort of, as I say, they work well. You'll have this up here all nicely masked out the way you paint this, and then when you come to bring this down, it won't go down, because the paint you put on is thicker than the paint they had, and it was a completely crow's fit. And believe me, there's nothing more annoying than you get all this nice paint done, and then when you go, you get it back off and it's scratched. So I actually always put them in the lathe and just take about 20 thou off to give me a good thickness of paint for it to slide on. But if you do it, give that a good sand down. If the tops will come off, if you're lucky enough for that, you can take this off and do the inside of that. But do make sure that before you start painting, you've got a nice loose fit, because it feels loose now, but believe me, when the paint's on, it won't be. So alright, let me put this stuff out the way. We'll get the topper engine out, and we'll carry on where we left off with that. Now this is where we'd got up to when we last worked on this. I was trying to get this thing off here, off the splines. Now it's a few weeks ago, and all that time I've been constantly soaking this in releasing fluid. I've heated it up several times, tried it with the three-legged puller, worked on it, just would not come off. So in the end I put the three-leg puller on it, and I put an impact wrench on and just gave it a little bump. I didn't go bah, I went bump, bump. So after a couple of little bumps, it started to move. I could see it come up. Bump again, up it came, and eventually off, and I thought, great. Until I actually looked at it. See? The spline centre is steel, and it was cast into this, and it's just ripped it straight out of there. And it still won't come off. So what I'm going to have to do to get this off is very carefully to split it with a grinding wheel. Split it in maybe a couple of places, but hopefully if I get one break right into there, then it'll spring apart. Now, as luck would have it, actually it was one of you lot sent me a link to a fella got it somewhere weird like Switzerland. And he actually has a site with topper parts on it. And he has both this back cover and this on there. Now there must be new ones that he's getting made, because one of the things is this part is not an insert. The splines are actually cut into the aluminium. But hey, how often is this thing going to get used? And it was only about $120, so what's that, 90 quid? So at least we haven't sort of destroyed the only one of these in existence. I can get another one of these. So now I'm going to have to get the 4.5 inch grinder out with a cutting wheel on and see if I can cut this. So let me move you back so you don't get any sparks in your eyes, and we'll try and get this off. The other thing I don't want to do, of course, is I'm sort of battering on the end of the crankshaft here, so I can't just give it a lot of welly. Oh, see, you can't see it, but this collar thing here, I'm literally right down to it. So it looks as if this spline, this centerpiece actually is inset in slightly. Well, this is starting to get boring for you, so let me switch you off and let me mess on, and I'll bring you back when I've completely ruined it. Now the little piece came off, but it seems as if the inner part of the aluminium is it was a thicker boss, so this steel part was really set into it, so behind the steel part there's more aluminium going in. Now I'm not sure, but I think it moved a little bit when I was just tapping it from the side. So what I've put on is this is I don't know, it's for pulling steering wheel centers off or something here, and I modified it a couple of years ago. It just fits in behind the worm gear that drives the oil pump on the Triumph Twins to pull that off the crankshaft. So we'll just give it a try. Of course, it's not budging at all. Good God. Right, next thing I'm going to do is get the welding torch out, because now I can heat just this steel centre. So let me do that. Right, here goes with this. And I've put the welding tip on rather than the burning one, because I want to really heat just this steel disc. I moved down there to heat the bottom bit, and of course there isn't a bottom bit because I cut it off. All right. Oh dear God! I put a big what's it on there? This is open up enough. No, it won't. All right. We've got the small Stilsons. I think I'm pulling this way. No, I do want it on that side, don't I? Oh, this is just ridiculous. I'm going to have to try and cut some more off. Okay, switch it off again. Alright, I was so annoyed I was going to call it a day and you were just going to have to do without video. And then I thought, let me try one more thing. So I've mounted it, it's actually on the mill table. Because I'll need to have it on the mill table to do this thing here. So what I've done is very carefully with the hacksaw gone down like that and then gone across. So I'm right down, I'm actually below the splines now, and this is aluminium. I can't really see if there's any steel left there. There is a little bit, I think, because I had to sort of put like a punch, a pointed punch down into there to get the last little bits to break out. So I think what I'm going to do now is put a drill in, see if I can drill through maybe even 4 places, see if it'll finally break apart. And I'll tell you, this has been more than a little annoying. Well, I didn't drill it in the end. I used a 3/8 mil and I've done a couple of holes, and you can see it's suddenly starting to break up. Look at that. Of course, that's the aluminium coming off. It still isn't this bloody piece. So let's see what I can get this out, and then I'll bring you back yet again. So there's the last bits that came out, and you might just be able to see there. See, this is still steel, goes all the way at the bottom. I still really don't understand this at all, but it seems to have split down there. So I'm hoping that I can now just get a little punch in and open this out and it'll come off. So let me try that. Well, I just had to show you this. Look, I've got 2/3 of this thing out, and that third still won't come out. I mean, you'd expect it to just pop off the splines like the other broken bits did. Where are they? What have I done with them? There. See, that just came out. But this bloody piece won't, so as I said, I don't bang on things too much with it being the crank. Alright, let me keep going. So, there's the last pieces out. See, I had to drill it. I had to drill a hole down it to, there look. And then finally it split and out it came. So, da 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 da. See, nothing in there. Just the way it was stuck on the splines. Well, that's been a bugger of a day, I'll tell you. Doesn't seem as if I got much accomplished, just pulled one thing off, but you saw it. So I've had enough for the day. That's got to be the end of this video. So until I see you again, you enjoy yourselves.